We're building a world-class museum here in Invercargill, and we really needed to create an identity that matched that aspiration.
The research and discovery phase involved getting our hands really into everything. We came down, we spent time in Invercargill and Southland. We were interviewing and speaking with local stakeholders and internal stakeholders, and that, with desk research and using the secondary research provided from Invercargill City Council, was also so useful in us understanding the scale of the project in a local way. And the clear thing we want to do with the strategy is identify who we are, what we're about, what we stand for, and where we want to take ourselves in the future, because when we do that, we can bring everyone else along with us. The end goal of this was to produce a full comprehensive brand strategy that would culminate in a single page document, a brand on a page. And this would talk about the purpose, the vision, the mission, the visitor value proposition, what we stand for, and what we're moving towards, where we're going. This would be very important not only as a founding document for the museum and the people of Invercargill and Southland, but also as a key point to start working on a creative brief for the next stage of development, which was actually designing the new brand.
So while the strategy informs the overall tone and feel of the brand, and it really gives clues on what things are most important, we still needed more research. This time it was visual research. We engaged with Gibson Group to guide us through their vision for the exhibition space, and we looked over the designs for the building itself to get inspired by the environment that is actually being created. We wanted to see if there were any common themes across the strategy, the building and the exhibition space. This was really important as we wanted to ensure that the experience of the brand was consistent. So whether a person was visiting the actual building or they're seeing us in an ad or visiting the website, it should feel like all of these bits and pieces are all connected. There are a range of themes present in the exterior and interior of the building. Water, nature, the double-hulled waka, duality, journeys, to name a few of them. But when we stepped back and looked at what the museum actually delivers for people beyond merely being a physical space, there were themes like a time machine or a portal into different worlds. These themes felt really compelling, and they really spoke to a higher purpose behind what the museum and the organisation actually delivers. And quite helpfully for us, they're also quite visual, so they give us a really good clue to develop the identity further. To do so, we started with the basics, colour and typography. Our colour palette is sophisticated and simple. The colours are timeless, they won't overpower our exhibits, and they exist harmoniously within the built environment. Our font choice is neutral and future-focused, avoiding any negative associations of museums being old or stuffy or elitist. This was super important when developing the identity. We knew we wanted to avoid anything that kind of put people off, and we wanted to make sure that the museum looked like it was looking into the future and was a place that was for everyone and all. We then looked to the logo as the centerpiece of the entire identity. We knew that it will become one of the most widely used and widely seen components of the identity, and with the ambitions for Te Unua to become an iconic, world-class museum, the logo needs to reflect and represent this. If we think back to the theme of a portal, it gives us some pretty good clues for the design. Looking at forms that represent the idea of portals helped here. These were things like doors or windows, simple shapes that kind of, with a little bit of work, almost looked a little bit like abstract letter forms. So we thought, what if we could extrapolate these shapes out to create a powerful and unique word mark? This design works for many reasons. It represents the themes of portals and duality. That U shape that we see in the words also gives a nod to a cross-section of the double-hulled waka. The shapes feel slightly retro, but also futuristic, so it really doesn't belong to any one time or place. The forms themselves are quite kind of squat and strong and resilient, really mimicking the character of Southland itself. And the overall design is quite distinctive and it's a little bit abstract, which helps to create this really strong visual connection between the shape itself and the actual museum. The design is bold and confident, and it wouldn't feel out of place in a major global city. And this has been a really deliberate choice. We want to smash stereotypes and position ourselves as a truly world-class destination. But the real magic of this logo lies in what it can become. The idea of a portal is all about having something to look or step through and experience multiple different places in multiple different times. Dynamic and ever-changing, the logo is designed to be whatever you need it to be. Rather than being quiet and static, it takes centre stage. The theme of a portal offers endless opportunities for novel and interesting executions, and that's a really good thing. It keeps our brand moving with the times and technology, constantly reinventing and remixing itself. The logo can be the hero of comms, or we can dial it back and let other elements come to the fore. Either way, there is flexibility and consistency no matter how it's used. But we know that a full identity needs more than just a logo by itself. So we've repurposed the logo into a tiling pattern which provides texture and visual interest. We've also pulled shapes and elements of the logo out to use in other ways. The goal with all of these variations is that there is flexibility but an overarching consistency that connects all pieces to create a unified and effective brand identity.
So we have now got a really comprehensive toolkit that we can use to inform and inspire and encourage visits from locals in Invercargill and Southland and people visiting our region. It's been a really positive collaboration working with the creative agency on this project and working with all of our stakeholders within council and within the museum and in our city. We are so excited to finally reach this important milestone in bringing Te Unua to life.